Did I see another hand? Representative Steele and Webb and then Hopper.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I will be brief. Been in the legislature a long time, but first time serving on the Education Committee, and it's quite interesting. I spent most of my time on public health. One of the things on public health, we always could identify things by using consistent vocation, consistent vocabulary with things. But in this situation, it's kind of difficult to follow because I've heard these individuals who we're discussing and we're referred to in this bill had under several different titles, from immigrants to unlawfully residents who are here, those without U.S. citizenship, illegal residents, unlawful residents, then probably the worst one, illegal aliens. It's bad enough to be an alien, but to refer to them as illegal aliens is pretty awful. So I think if we can get some consistency with who we're identifying and what the terminology is, it certainly will help. But my question to Ms. Burlsworth is very simple. You mentioned that presently we are denying Arkansas students education. I just would like for you to expound and explain that statement you made.
First of all, let me go ahead and address your terminology on illegal aliens, because if you looked at this in a court of law, judicially, that is the only way to term it. There is no such thing as undocumented. They're immigrant, because that's an oxymoron. So illegal alien, if you look this up under law and case law and federal law, that is the terminology. That's why we have to be clear on this, and that's why I use that term, because that's the proper term in the courts. So, you know, I want everyone to know that, and it's to say illegal immigrant. Once again, that implies that they immigrated here properly when they have not. So that's one reason why it's not to be disrespectful of anyone, but that is the proper judicial term, is illegal aliens. And
when do they become illegal aliens?
When they cross the border illegally.
What if their parents are not lawfully documented citizens here and they have children? Do they become illegal aliens when they're born?
Unfortunately, I think we're going to have a big debate over the 14th Amendment, because a lot of countries are rejecting this the anchor baby status, and that's not why our 14th Amendment was adopted in the first place. So this is, you know, kind of off the subject of this bill, but I think we will get into that debate.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Chairman.
Okay. I've got 3 other representatives that have requested for questions. I have Mrs. Webb.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I guess this is a question of you. There are a number of issues that have been raised following up what Representative Carnine said. I know Mr. Broadway is here in the room, and are we going to have an opportunity to hear him address the issues that Ms. Burlsworth and some of the others?
I would certainly hope so. We've got several people signed up, and I think we'll be able to hear him.
I'd sure like to hear from him before we take a vote on this.
I have Representative Hopper.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My question is this. We've heard this number talked out several times this morning of 1,768 students. My question is, have these indeed been identified as those who, for lack of a better word, have willfully submitted erroneous information, or are we talking about once the thousands of students that we are attempting to educate in this state, the information on them is uploaded into the system and they are kicked back as errors, i.e. is it a matter of just transposing some numbers? As we all know, when we're dealing with thousands and thousands of individuals here, I'd like to know if that 1768, to truly identify the meaning of who those individuals are.
I think Mrs. Webb had mentioned Mr. Broadway, and he may be able to come to the table and maybe help us with that, since he is here in the building.
Thank you.
And I will ask him that in just a second, but I also have a question from Representative Hutchinson. Did you have another question, or did I have you on my list wrong?
I was just going to ask the chair to make sure that we remain on the topic and not wander off into the wilderness.
I understand. Thank you. Thank you for your help. Ms. Burlsworth, I guess you're through your testimony. I appreciate